Tourism and travel is one industry in Africa that is growing massively recently, okay? That a lot of countries are spending huge budgets in it to promote or to increase the development in tourism in their various countries. Well, have you ever asked yourself which African country has the leading economy in tourism or have the best tourism leading economy in Africa? Well, check this one out. All right, so recently, African Facts Zone shared a post that says Africa's leading travel and tourism economies, okay? So number one, we have South Africa. Number two, Mauritius. Number three, Egypt. Number four, Morocco. And then number five, Ghana. All right, so these African countries are your top 5 tourism leading economies, okay? That these countries have really invested hugely in the tourism industry and that people are also penetrating into the various countries to cover their tourism advertisement and how fast they have grown the tourism industry in their various countries. Well, the source of this whole issue or African Fact Zone where they got this is information from is 2024 Global Travel and Tourism Development Index. So 2024 Global Travel and Tourism Development Index. They share this post about African countries that say that African leading travel and tourism economies are number 1 South Africa, number 2 Mauritius, number 3 Egypt, number 4 Morocco, then number 5 a West African country, Ghana. All right, that's so impressive. I'm so glad that African countries are now showcasing the beauty of African landscape and its environment and its natural environment to the world, and also investing hugely to promote Africa and African lives. Well, I truly like that part of Africa, and it's time we sell good messages to the world to know that Africa is not only about civil wars, Africa is not only about hunger, Africa is not only about bad leadership, but Africa has a lot to show to the world also, right? So big ups to these countries that are representing Africa hugely like this. Shout out to you guys. But before I continue, okay, I want us to see this, quick, see this. All right, so this guy came in and says, Nigeria should be in the list though. Nobody travels to South Africa anymore. It's no longer safe. All black and white American celebrities had been to Nigeria recently. And likewise, hundreds of thousands of tourists who troop in monthly. But see this. This guy replied to this Nigerian and says, holiday with a chance of being captured by Boko Haram will be quite exhilarating. Yo, what does that mean by being captured by Boko Haram will be what? Exhilarating. Well, let's continue with this fact. Well, also, the source that they shared was Global Tourism and Travel Development Index. So I wanted to find out more about how they come about naming these 5 African countries the best leading economies in tourism in Africa. So with my search, I went out to find a website called African Businesses. So Africa Most Improved Region for Travel and Tourism Development says World Economic Factors. So they says South Africa stands out as the highest ranked country in the region, while Mauritius and Ghana lead in Eastern and Western Africa respectively. Well, that's it, okay? That's it. Let's dive more inside. All right, so May 22nd, 2024, Africa has shown the most improvement in the World Economic Forum Travels and Tourism Development Index, TTDI, performances since 2019, with 16 out of 19 regional economies improving their scores. All right, so we continue reading. It found that less matured, low to middle income economies exhibited the most significant enhancement in performance between 2019 and 2024. Accounting for 52 out of 71 economies that improved their TTDI scores. Sub-Saharan African improved by 2.1%, while North Africans' overall scores increased by 1.1%. Still, the report found that high-income economies generally continue to have more favorable conditions for travel and tourism development. Africa still has the lowest TTDI scores of any region, with an average score of 3.33, or should I say 3.33 compared to 4.26 in Europe and Asia, okay, and 4.11 in Asia Pacific. Well, there you have it, okay. So they're saying that Africa have really improved since 2021 to 2024. Our tourism sector, our industry have really improved in a very significant way. But still, as compared to the Europeans and the Asians, Africa is still lacking behind. So although Ghana, South Africa, Egypt, Mauritius, and all these countries are much gratefully, or Rwanda are all doing so much gratefully to what? Increase the tourism industry in Africa, there's still more room for improvement, okay? Because we need to catch up with the Asians, the Europeans, and then the North and the South Americans. These are all points, or these are all continents that are also doing perfectly well. But Africa can actually do better than that, okay? So we need more African countries to do more about this. Although, as it says in here, that economies that are well to do are actually what's improving their tourism sectors. We also need to have peace and security in most African countries in order to improve these kind of things, okay? So there you have it, okay? So actually, this news was shared, and then a list of African leading economies in tourism and travel has also been shared, where South Africa are leading and Ghana is found at number 5, with Egypt also being on the list also, okay? So shout out to all the countries that are well represented Africa on this list. And we also hope that other African countries can join this list too, okay? It's pretty simple and it's pretty much so cool to see this happening in Africa recently. All right, so my name is Rashi Say, and I'm here sharing with you guys African facts and African news. Hope you're enjoying this. Let's continue. All right, so now let's see comments from our various African countries, people, what they have to say about this list. All right, so let's go. So this one came in and says, congratulations to Ghana for making it to a positive top 5 list on the continent for the first time. When it comes to the tourism industry, Nigeria is still lagging behind other African countries. We have not prioritized the development of our tourism sector as much as we ought to, consider our status as on the continent. Well, that's a Nigerian coming here. Mine is saying that big shout outs or big congratulations to their cousins, Ghanaians. Well, you guys have been on a positive top 5 of African leading economies in travel and tour. Mine is saying that's pretty good of you guys. And also says that Nigeria also needs to do better, because compared to some African countries, they are really lagging behind. Basically, we're checking out how big or how industrious or how, should I say, populous and how great Nigeria is. They should have been part of this list, but it's too bad they are not in here. And he's saying that they have not really actually invested much into that sector or the industry. So hoping the government or the people of Nigeria will actually see the better side of their resources or their natural resources that they have towards increase or improve the living of that one. That is a great comment right there, and I'm here to share with you, okay? Hope you are enjoying this comment, all right? Let's continue with this. Well, this one also came in and says, Nigeria has so many tourist attraction center, but only issue it has is the insecurity, and we are dealing with that already. Well, that is it. Nigeria have a lot of best kind of places to visit too, but the only problem at Nigeria is also saying that is the insecurities, and they are what? Already tackling it. So hopefully Nigeria can be part of this list. Hopefully by 2025, when we make about this list again, we'll have top 10 and Nigeria will be part of it. All right, hopefully too. So as a Nigerian, you have to be each other's keeper and make sure that you tackle the insecurity together with the government to make sure Nigeria is safe for all. All right, not for only tourists, but for you as well, my Nigerian brother, you as well. Right, so my name is Vidashi Essay, and I'm here to share with you Africa's leading travel and tour economies. Okay, and they said number 1 is South Africa, number 2 Mauritius, number 3 Egypt, number 4 Morocco, then number 5 Ghana. See you guys around. And then their source was 2024 Global Travel and Tourism Development Index. Check them out to see more about this info. My name is Vidashi Essay, and here was African and African News. See you guys around.